We all know we need to train hard to make progress, but is it really the harder you train, the better your gains? As I said in the last video, the closer you train to failure, the more high threshold motor units are recruited, that's more mechanical tension, that's more growth. Well, in theory, if we want to get the best gains, we will want to train as hard as possible, right? Well, not exactly. But let's go back to square one. How can you tell how close you are to failure? The simplest way to quantify it is using reps in reserve, RIR. If you can do 10 reps on a certain exercise using the same execution, but you leave 1 rep in the tank and only do 9 reps, then that's 1 RIR. A myriad of studies have concluded no major difference in hypertrophy outcomes between training to failure versus not to failure as long as it is close enough. The latest meta-regression even shows a linear dose-response relationship that the smaller the number of RIR, the better the growth. On the other hand, studies have also shown training to failure may have a number of drawbacks. One meta-analysis shows that when exercise are taken to failure, there are more buildup of metabolic waste such as lactate and ammonia, as well as more muscle damage. In fact, one of the included studies even showed that the serum creatine kinase and AST levels were significantly higher after 6 sets of squat to failure versus 5 RIR, even after 48 hours. All these indicate significantly more peripheral fatigue and muscle damage. A more recent study finds a linear relationship between proximity to failure and acute neuromuscular fatigue. At 4 minutes post-exercise, 6 sets of bench press to failure causes a velocity loss that is almost doubled compared to training at 1 RIR. So in summary, if you're serious about gaining muscle, you need to get high growth stimulus from training hard enough, but not so hard to the point where you fatigue yourself for no good reason. Training to mild discomfort is certainly not the play here. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, going balls to walls on every single set, thinking you are hardcore or built different, is equally as stupid. My practical recommendation is that in most of your sets, train at 1 RIR and occasionally go to 0 RIR. If you do that consistently over time, you should see better positive adaptations in the long term. Have a nice day.